What's up, passionate DJs? Big news today from Pioneer. They've dropped another bomb. Today they've announced the release of their brand new standalone DJ system and controller. It's the Pioneer XDJ-XZ. So we're going to take a deep dive into this thing and see what it's about and see how it compares to those other things in the market, like what we're most likely to compare it to, which would be the Denon DJ Prime 4. So let's get on with it. Introducing the Pioneer XDJ-XZ, a 4-channel independent DJ system and controller, which combines the features of the company's best gear with flexible media and software options, putting lots of advanced features right at your fingertips. Now at a glance, it's a Nexus-like setup which has full-size jog wheels, intuitive jog displays, and 14 beat effects, plus 6 sound color effects straight off the iconic DJM 900 Nexus 2 mixer. Now, while it mimics a CDJ and 900 Nexus setup to an astonishing degree, it also consolidates it into a single board with grab handles, which avoids the wires, the space, and the complication of a full Nexus rig. Now, early next year, Pioneer is bringing full Serato DJ functionality, a feature which nearly doubles its appeal. So let's talk about all the different ways to play on an XDJ-XZ. The first way, and the reason it's called a standalone, is to play directly off of USB sticks that have been prepared with Rekordbox, in exactly the same way that you'd interact with, say, a CDJ-2000 Nexus 2. Now you can connect to the Rekordbox DJ application and mix via your laptop, effectively turning this into one very large DJ controller. You can use something called link export mode, which I don't know much about, but I think it's somewhere in between, like maybe you can play music off the hardware but pull the music off your laptop. Now, the unit has 2 USB ports on top for connecting thumb drives, and 1 port on the back for connecting a laptop. This means that B2B mixing and changeovers are pretty easy, though since it doesn't have a dual audio interface, you can only connect 1 laptop at a time. You can connect external sources to decks 3 and 4 using the RCA connections on the back if you'd like to connect up, say, a set of turntables. This would allow you to play vinyl records or indeed use DVS with Rekordbox or Serato for timecode use. And starting early next year, you can use it as a fully licensed and featured Serato DJ controller, making this a perfect marriage for multi-platform DJs, just like our very own Trip Turlington. Now on top of all this, the XDJ-XZ is the first standalone DJ unit to feature Pro DJ Link. Now this system allows Pioneer DJ hardware to share music, track data, and sync information over a standard network cable. Now this means that you could, for example, link up a set of external CDJs and browse or sync that audio into your mix, with the XZ acting as the main hub. You can expect the kind of build quality we've all come to expect from Pioneer by now. Yes, it's expensive to live in a Pioneer ecosystem, but admittedly, their gear's built to take a beating or two. The XDJ-XZ comes in at $2,300, and per usual, that's either a steal for you or highway robbery for them. So let's take a look at the device we're most likely to compare this thing to. Of course, it's a 4-deck standalone engine prime DJ system. Of course, that means you can leave your laptop at home. It's got detailed 24-bit Denon DJ legacy audio. It's got an adjustable 10-inch touchscreen with gesture support. It has a dedicated XLR zone output which provides music to a separate room. It's got a built-in 2.5-inch SATA drive bay to store music on board. It has a 6-inch jog wheel with an HD central display, 4 assignable input channels for external media sources, 2 dedicated XLR inputs for microphones with individual control. It plays uncompressed audio formats like FLAC, ALAC, and WAVE, and it has 4 USB and 1 SD media input for music playback and recording. Now the Prime 4 offers a lot and for a much better price point, and so it's really going to come up to the end user as far as which one is going to be the right choice for them, because that feature for feature comparison is not the only thing that matters. So let's take these two devices and compare them directly. Appearance-wise, both are very sharp and look well made. In the typical Pioneer fashion, the XZ is a little more Spartan, and it doesn't try to be flashy. This is a selling point for people who like their audio equipment to look like audio equipment. Now, the Prime 4 is a beauty in its own right, and while admittedly it does have just a little hint of that futuristic spaceship thing kind of going on, but definitely gives you a lot more interesting things to look at. So vanity aside, let's look at these feature by feature. And honestly, this is where you're going to see the Prime 4 still shine a little bit. The XZ provides some great ways to play, and it's pretty much everything that Pioneer fans have been asking for. And the inclusion of full Serato support, or at least eventually, is pretty huge. And the inclusion of Pro DJ Link, and that's what allows you to connect external CDJs to add decks over a network, is also really awesome. Now, whether you're acting as if it's a set of CDJs in a mixer, or if you're treating it more like a DJ controller, it's really hard to complain. However, the Prime 4 is quite simply a beast when it comes to features, and in many ways it's still unrivaled. It has 4 USB ports to the XZ3, and if you want you can even connect an external keyboard for track browsing instead of using the touchscreen. Not something you can do to my knowledge on the XZ. Another killer feature from the Prime 4 is missing, and that's the ability to add an internal hard drive to the unit, making it a truly all-inclusive portable DJ unit. Plus, if you want to DJ 2 rooms at once, you can pull that off using a separate zone output. Yes, that's really a thing you can do. The Prime 4 will also import Rekordbox and Tractor libraries and also works with Serato. Now, Denon's made it pretty clear that they want the Prime 4 to work for as many DJs as possible. I should note, though, that the ability to import an external Rekordbox library, for example, is not the same as having a full Rekordbox experience. It is nice that the Prime 4 will analyze the tracks as soon as you load them for the first time, right on the unit itself, which is also something the XZ doesn't do. I'd say the Prime 4 has a better screen, too. It's 10 inches instead of 7, it supports multi-touch gestures, and I've got to tell you, it just looks beautiful in person. The user interface it presents, in combination with the center jog displays, gives a UI experience that makes perfect sense, and the same goes for the new Pioneer unit. So let's talk about the livability of these things. They're both big and bulky, but the Pioneer unit is next level huge. It weighs a good 8 pounds more than the Prime 4, and, well, what do you want? Everyone asked for a full-size Nexus mixer and full-size CDJ jog wheels, and that's how you get it. But just remember, I've complained about the bulkiness of the XDJ-RX2 in the past, and, well, this is going to be worse than that. Honestly, neither of these things is going to be a top choice for portability. So to kind of put a bow on it all, let's talk about the value for the price. Now, feature for feature, the Prime 4, which released not quite a year ago, absolutely demolishes. In my original first look video for the device, I commented that it crammed in so many features it made my head spin, and that's still true. However, let's be honest, Pioneer DJ is still the company that sets the standard for DJ booths all across the world, and people want to use the closest thing to what they'll find in the clubs. And while Denon DJ has made waves with their hashtag #ChangeYourWriter campaign, that doesn't mean it's an easy hill to climb. And when you compare the $2,300 that this thing costs versus the $6,000, let me say that again, $6,000 for the setup it so perfectly replicates, the value of this thing is pretty astonishing. Pioneer tax be damned. So who should get the new XDJ-XZ? Well, there are some tasty features here for mobile DJs, such as the ability to set several layers of EQ and the anti-feedback function, though it's a rather bulky device to move around. If you're a club or resident DJ who wants to replicate that iconic Pioneer Nexus setup at home, but you want to save quite a bit of money doing it, this is the best option there's ever been. If you don't have a true preference to which ecosystem you live in, what I would call platform agnostic, the Prime 4 still makes more sense. It's just dripping with features, it looks great, and Denon has demonstrated that they're willing to listen to their audience base to continue adding the features that they want. Now, other great Pioneer options for standalone include the XDJ-RX2 and the XDJ-RR. The RX2 is a very popular option, which doesn't nearly have the same feature set of the new unit, but it still brings a very familiar Rekordbox-y kind of feeling to your home DJ booth, and it only costs $16.99. You do have to be willing to give up 2 channels and a handful of effects. The RR costs $1,000 or less, and it provides an even more simplified version. They remove a few drum pads and such, and it's a great option for somebody wanting a standalone system at more of a mid-range controller price. So there you have it, folks. That's the new XDJ-XZ, and kind of how it stacks up against the Prime 4 and some other Pioneer controllers in the market. Look, this is a pretty big deal for Pioneer because they're basically replicating a full Nexus setup into an all-in-one unit, marrying it to Serato and giving it to you for less than half the price that the full rig would cost. So from that perspective, it's really hard to argue against it. However, if you're just approaching this from the perspective of, I don't really care what platform I'm in, I just want to mix music, they both have a lot of features and they're both going to get the job done, but the Prime 4 really just shines as far as playing whatever you want, however you want, and having a lot of fun doing it. So either one is a great choice. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you want to know more about the Pioneer unit, I actually put together a full first look video that was published on the DJ Hookup. You can check that out in the description below and learn a little bit more about this unit. And I also recommend that if either one of these catches your interest and you want to buy one, that you use the DJ Hookup to do that. Get in contact with their staff and they'll give you a great price. But for now, that's the Pioneer XDJ-XZ. Take care, keep on spinning. But for now, that's the Pioneer XDJ